Good morning, America. Breaking news, critical fire danger. Millions on edge in California as record-breaking temperatures soar into the triple digits. Dangerous winds kick up. Now fears of a fresh wildfire outbreak as 10 large blazes burn across the state.
Fighting words. Overnight, Senator McCain appears to attack the president for dodging service in Vietnam as the firestorm grows over President Trump's phone call to the widow of fallen soldier Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. Now she's speaking out for the first time only on GMA.
George Clooney and Matt Damon sit down with Michael to address the Harvey Weinstein scandal head on.
He was a bully. He was intimidating.
It's beyond infuriating.
The actors speaking out as they team up for a new movie.
Bringing Justin back. Justin Timberlake taking center stage at the Super Bowl halftime show for the first time since that infamous wardrobe malfunction. Can he top Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, and Beyonce's flawless performances?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. We hope you had a good weekend. How about that? Justin Timberlake coming back.
Very excited about that. Also kind of surprised to realize it's been 14 years since that infamous halftime show. So he's going to be back, and I think it's going to be great. Looking forward to it.
Show, yeah.
We'll have much more on that in just a bit. But first, we do want to get to that critical fire danger happening in Southern California. Triple-digit heat and gusty winds pulling millions on edge this morning as so many in that state are recovering from those record-breaking wildfires. 10 of them are burning at this hour. So let's head straight to Rob Marciano, who has been tracking it all for us. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Amy. This on the heels, as you mentioned, of those Northern California fires. This one is going to be focused across Southern California, and these warnings and advisories have been expanded in aerial extent and have been extended now to make this a 3-day event. The fire starts that happen overnight, just the beginning.
This morning, L.A. firefighters rushing to put out a fast-moving brush fire in the mountains north of Los Angeles.
There's a series of 4 or 5 small explosions and then a big one, and that's when everything lit on fire.
This blaze was put out, but temperatures will rise to reach triple digits as Santa Ana winds crank up. California towns from San Diego to San Bernardino bracing for prime wildfire conditions. In San Diego County, 150 acres burning over the weekend. A brigade of aircraft attacking that fire.
We're hitting this thing hard from the ground and from the air. The crews are making great progress right now, but we're going to remain cautiously optimistic. The winds have been a factor out here.
Black smoke pouring into the sky over Napa Valley Sunday. Nearly 30 acres burning there, with small fires breaking out across the state.
Usually we have 3 people on the engine. Throughout the county, we now have 4. Everything's increased today for the fires.
Fires quickly spreading earlier this month, leading to the staggering death toll of 42, the deadliest string of fires in the state's history. 7,000 homes and structures lost.
They certainly don't want a repeat of that. So firefighters are on standby at the ready across Southern California. Here come your Santa Anas. The setup is the high pressure. Those winds come up and over the mountains. They compress, they heat up, they dry out, and they'll be gusty not only today and tonight, but probably peaking tomorrow night. And look at these humidity levels, 5 to 10%. That is dangerous stuff. And the heat, that's what makes this one different. Triple-digit heat, and this is only the second time we've seen triple-digit heat this late in October. So these numbers are staggering for both today and tomorrow. We'll be watching this closely. Amy, George, back over to you.
All right, Rob, thank you.
Okay, we move on now to Washington, where Senator McCain has leveled another shot at President Trump, taking on the inequity of the wealthy who avoided service in Vietnam by getting draft deferments for health issues like bone spurs. This is the president's chief of staff, John Kelly, escalate the war of words with Congresswoman Wilson over the president's phone call to the widow of fallen soldier Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega here with the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
Good morning, George. Good morning, everybody. This controversy is not going away. The White House hoped that appearance in the briefing room by General John Kelly would put it to rest. But this weekend, the president was back to tweeting about it. John McCain never mentioned President Trump's name, but it seemed like a shot fired directly at him. President Trump received a deferment for serving in Vietnam for a bone spurs diagnosis.
And one aspect of the conflict, by the way, that I will never, ever countenance is that we drafted the lowest income level of America, and the highest income level found a doctor that would say that they had a bone spur. That is wrong. That is wrong. If we're going to ask every American to serve, every American should serve.
This weekend, the Arizona senator and war hero went public with his criticism. This as one of the 4 American Special Ops soldiers killed in that deadly ambush in Niger was laid to rest. Sergeant LaDavid Johnson at the center of the public battle over President Trump's condolence call to Johnson's pregnant widow. The president has yet to comment on the specifics of the ambush, instead continuing to feud with the Democratic Florida congresswoman who was in the car with Johnson's widow and heard the president say Johnson, quote, knew what he signed up for, but when it happens, it hurts anyway.
And the president was back to tweeting this weekend, as we talked about, guys. He called the congresswoman wacky repeatedly and said that she's killing the Democratic Party. The White House, as I said, really thought this would go away, but the president was back to tweeting about it this week.
Back to tweeting, and of course the questions about General Kelly as well. Cecilia, thanks very much. Meghan McCain's your co-host of The View, and it's incredible to see how something in some ways as simple and as sad as a phone call to the widow of a fallen soldier will become such a controversy.
Yeah, I hate this entire news cycle right now. I think us as all Americans should never politicize the death of a soldier. I hate what it's turning into. I hate the questions about General Kelly. And I think if you cared about Benghazi as a conservative, you have to care about what happened in Niger as well, with all the questions coming out and all of this sort of unanswered issues about exactly what happened over there. And I hate that it's sort of becoming a left-right issue, and we can't just, honestly let David Johnson be buried and let his widow grieve and sort of move on from everything.
And as you point out, there are a lot of real questions about what actually happened in Niger on that ambush. Meantime, I know your father is going to be on The View today, coming off that latest salvo against the president.
Yeah, as I was joking with you, he's really slowing down right now, keeping it quiet. Yeah, he's on for my birthday. I'm sure we'll talk about this. I actually didn't know he said that until I woke up this morning and my phone blew up. But I think military service for my family, as you're well aware, is very personal. Both my brothers served, multiple deployments between them, military service and my family going back to generations and generations. So I think anytime you talk about military service, it is a different issue when you have served and when you have family members that have served and those that haven't.
And Cecilia, you're seeing this in, coming off of the speech by Senator McCain last week, the speeches by both President Obama and President Bush. How's the White House taking this all in?
Well, it's interesting to watch. They've been asked directly about this, and the way that this White House is internalizing it is they say these presidents are not directly talking about President Trump. They're sort of
they don't really believe that, do they?
I think they do, George. I think they do. I think that this is, as you know, an administration that doesn't take kindly to criticism. And if the president's name is not spoken directly, which it hasn't been in any of these cases, I think they can very easily say, and they very much believe, that this is not about him.
Meantime, the president trying, Meghan, to turn the attention to tax cuts. This has become priority A, B, C, and D for the Republican Party right now.
Well, we really need a legislative win, and I think going forward, they really need to change this news cycle all the way around, because again, I think it's collectively making all Americans uncomfortable to be politicizing the death of four American soldiers, in fact. I'm like cautiously optimistic about tax reform, but we couldn't get it together really on health care, so I'm sort of like hedging my bets at this moment.
And Cecilia, one other thing you saw over the weekend, Senator McConnell, the Republican leader of the Senate, kind of putting it back in the president's court on the entire issue of health care. Does he support this latest compromise or not?
Well, who knows? It depends on the day of the week right now, right? He's been all over the map on this one. But the reality is this isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay. Cecilia, Meghan, thanks very much. We'll see you on The View at 11 o'clock today. And coming up in our next half hour, I have an exclusive interview with Maisha Johnson, the widow of Army Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. Amy?
Well, now to a possible terror plot foiled in Florida by the FBI. The sting snared a man they believe was inspired by ISIS to target a Miami mall. That suspect will now face charges today, and our senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has been tracking this story from Washington. Good morning, Pierre.
Amy, good morning. News today, we have another American allegedly willing to embrace ISIS ideology and apparently willing to commit mass murder of scores of innocent shoppers. Take a look at the Dolphin Mall in Miami. Sources tell us that Vicente Solano of Florida had targeted the shopping center with a huge bomb, hoping to detonate what he thought was, quote, a weapon of mass destruction. But it was all a sting. The bomb was a dud built by the FBI. Solano apparently thought he was working with another Islamic radical when it was really an undercover operative with the FBI. Officials at the Dolphin Mall told us that it was, quote, inappropriate to comment on this case due to the ongoing FBI investigation. The case is under seal, but Solano is expected in court today. Amy?
Pierre, it is absolutely terrifying to think what could have happened, but how often are we seeing these types of cases?
Amy, the suspect is one of more than 130 Americans charged in recent years with either trying to join ISIS or plotting attacks here at home.
All right, Pierre Thomas, thank you, George.
Okay, thanks, Amy. Now to a manhunt for a serial killer in Tampa. 3 people were killed in the same neighborhood in less than 2 weeks. Police now looking for a person of interest seen in this surveillance video. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Tampa with more. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, George. Police asking us to report from the station this morning. They do not want us in that neighborhood while it's still dark out. They've been working around the clock to keep that community safe as they search for what could be a possible serial killer.
This morning, the desperate manhunt for a possible serial killer in a Tampa neighborhood. 3 unsolved murders in 10 days, just about 10 blocks apart.
I was just watching TV and I hear boom, a pause, and then boom, boom, boom.
Those first shots were fired on October 9th, police say, when 22-year-old Benjamin Mitchell was killed. 4 days later, 32-year-old Monica Hoffa's body was found down the street and around the corner. And the most recent victim, 20-year-old Anthony Naiboa, killed on Thursday, just 200 yards of the first shooting.
Whoever's doing it is obviously able to vanish very quickly, where we have not ruled anything out.
Police believe all 3 are connected because they happened so close to each other in similar fashion at night. Little evidence has been made public. The only lead is this grainy surveillance video of a person of interest wearing a hood in the area the night of one of the killings. Now police urging residents to keep their porch lights on, handing out light bulbs if needed, and being told to stay in groups.
If you're walking alone, you're either a suspect or you're a potential victim.
We're getting ready to go out on patrol with Tampa police. It's Officer Portman getting ready to head out into the Seminole Heights neighborhood. That's the area where 3 people have been gunned down. It's got to be kind of surprising to you guys now.
It is, and it's scary for the citizens around here too, because they're not used to something like that happening.
Overnight, the community on edge, neighbors banding together at a vigil for the victims while their killer is still on the loose.
They're waiting for him to hit again. Well, I'm not. I'm wanting him to get caught before anything else happens. Nobody else needs to die.
And police need the public's help here. Their only lead right now is that grainy surveillance video. There's a community meeting planned for tonight where residents will be able to speak with investigators. George?
Yeah, Victor, it is such a tense situation there that we just heard you say that they told you not to go into the neighborhood right now, given a lot of warnings to the residents. What else are they telling them right now?
The advice right now for residents, if you're going to walk around, do so in groups. Keep your porch lights on. They're even handing out light bulbs in some cases. If they see that those lights are out, they want these people as safe as possible. George?
Okay, Victor Kendall, thanks very much. Amy?
All right, George, and now to never-before-seen JFK files about to be made public this week. President Trump says he plans to allow the already scheduled release of thousands of classified documents, a move that has scholars and conspiracy theorists buzzing. ABC's David Wright is here with all of those details. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Amy. Back in 1992, in the wake of Oliver Stone's movie, Congress wanted to put an end to conspiracy theories surrounding the JFK assassination, so they ordered all of the documents released. They set a final deadline, 25 years down the road, everything to be unsealed by then unless the president objects. Well, that deadline is up this week, and the president plans to let it go forward. The very existence of top-secret files concerning the Kennedy assassination has fueled countless conspiracy theories. This weekend, President Trump tweeted, "I will be allowing, as president, the long-blocked and classified JFK files to be opened, clearing the way for the imminent release of some 3,000 pages, mostly from CIA and FBI case files."
President Kennedy has been shot in Dallas, Texas.
November 22nd, 1963, Dealey Plaza, cold-blooded murder in broad daylight. It shocked the nation. Many Americans still have questions more than 50 years later. Trump confidant Roger Stone says he urged the president to release everything.
They're likely to show that Lee Harvey Oswald was trained, nurtured, and put in place by the Central Intelligence Agency.
Was Lee Harvey Oswald acting alone? Or was the CIA or the KGB or the Mafia pulling the strings? Those are the biggest conspiracy theories.
What we're going to find out is a lot more about the last few months of Lee Harvey Oswald's life, what he was doing, what he was up to, and whether the CIA or FBI were picking up additional information about him.
But not everyone is happy. The intelligence community, for one.
The president enjoys stirring up controversy, and this will definitely stir up nationwide controversy.
And the Kennedy family says Trump didn't consult them.
I understand the historical value of those documents. I don't dispute that.
they also happen to be quite personal as well.
Well, millions of documents have come out over the past 25 years, but for the conspiracy theorists, this final trove of documents is Christmas Day.
Okay, and well, I have to ask you, do we have any idea of what's inside those documents?
According to the National Archives, this is a lot of stuff from the case files from the FBI and the CIA. Most interestingly, there is apparently testimony in there from one of the Watergate conspirators, E. Howard Hunt.
But is this all stuff that has already been looked at by historians, even though it has been widely released publicly?
It's been looked at by archivists, and we should have a heads up. They said don't expect any huge bombshells, but there could be some interesting tidbits. Certainly a lot of new data points for those conspiracy theories.
To feed those conspiracy theories. All right, David, thank you.
Okay, also this morning, that Super Bowl news. Justin Timberlake back on the halftime stage for the first time since that infamous appearance with Janet Jackson back in 2004. TJ Holmes here with the details. Hey, TJ.
Well, Timberlake has actually performed in 2 previous Super Bowls, George, but there's a decent chance you only remember one of them. That was when he was a surprise guest at Janet Jackson's performance, and then they brought out a surprise guest, if you will, that led to an investigation, a huge fine, and it gave us the term wardrobe malfunction.
Beyonce, Lady Gaga, even Prince. They've all headlined the iconic Super Bowl halftime show. And now Justin Timberlake is making it official. He's bringing sexy back to the turf for the first time since his infamous guest appearance in 2004. And who can forget Janet Jackson's infamous wardrobe malfunction?
That won't happen this time.
Timberlake's first performance was back in 2001 with NSYNC. And now, over 16 years later, he's not sure how many onstage stunts we might see.
People are flying, and Lady Gaga jumped from the top of the stadium or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm 36 now. I don't know how much of that I can do.
The Pepsi halftime show is one of the most watched musical events of the year, seen by over 150 million people.
So February 4th, look forward to it. And keep in mind, he is the first artist to perform 3 times at a Super Bowl. That's a big deal, but a lot of this will be overshadowed because a lot of us might miss a play of the game. We're not going to miss the halftime show.
Miss that.
To see what might happen.
Never know.
Never know.
TJ, thanks very much. Let's go back to Rob. A lot of tornadoes being reported.
Yeah, kind of our second severe weather season. We have it in the fall, late October and November. This is one of 6 reported tornadoes yesterday across Pascagoula, Mississippi, doing a little bit of damage in Oklahoma. Now we have a severe weather threat today that's going to get into the Carolinas. So the same system pushing slowly to the east, strong winds, large hail, maybe a few tornadoes. And then this all moves north and east tonight, through the day tomorrow. And by tomorrow afternoon in the evening rush, New York, Philly, back through D.C. could see severe weather of the same variety, maybe some large hail and strong damaging winds there. All right, it's time for your Select Cities now, brought to you by Wonder, rated PG.
My name is Augie Pullman. Next week, I start 5th grade. I'm totally and completely petrified.
He doesn't want to go.
He's ready.
If they stare, let them stare.
You are not ugly, and anyone who cares to know you will see that.
Awesome. You ever thought about plastic surgery? Dude, this is after plastic surgery. It takes a lot of work to look this good.
Wonder, rated PG, in theaters November 17th.
I'm tracking some thick fog early this morning. Later today, after about 10 o'clock, there'll be some gusty thunderstorms moving through. Today's going to be your warmest day out of the next 10. Temperatures getting into the 70s across the area, mid to maybe even upper 70s in a few locations. Best chance of storms from 10 p.m. this evening until about 4 to 5 a.m. early tomorrow. We'll get just over a ½ inch of rain. We do need the rain. Then it's breezy tomorrow, the high 72, cooling way down by the end of the work week.
Hope you had a great weekend. It was a beautiful one across the eastern third of the country. These shots out of upstate Connecticut, fall foliage in full bloom. Some of those leaves are going to be coming down with this storm coming through tomorrow, so hope you got out and enjoyed it. I know it was a beautiful upstate New York.
Oh, yes. We did the walk across the Hudson, looked at all the fall foliage. It was beautiful.
Soak it in.
Yep.
Good weekend. Another beautiful day. Coming up here, Maisha Johnson, the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, speaks out for the first time about her husband and that phone call with President Trump that is only on GMA.
And George Clooney and Matt Damon teaming up for a new movie and taking on Harvey Weinstein. That scandal when we come back.
Hi. I like to collect beneficial bacteria. Fortunately for me, each cup of Lifeway kefir contains billions of probiotic bacteria, along with vitamin D, calcium,